So, music this week, I think the biggest drop probably was Mud Boy by Sheck West. I feel like that was a pretty big project for not only like Sheck but just everyone. Like I feel like that was a really big deal, and I think that he's been hyped up for like so long that that album really went crazy. I think that it was like pretty good. I think overall it was kind of like a learning experience for him because the variety wasn't that strong, but yeah, he definitely has like figured out his sound for real, and he's definitely like pushing the signature like Sheck West beat, and I can respect that.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm excited to hear more, especially there was no like collab with Travis, so that'd be something interesting to see. You know, we haven't heard that yet, so I'm curious of that. But overall, I loved it. Gonna keep listening to it. And yeah, and then also recently dropped is Drip Harder by Little Baby and Gunna, and they went pretty hard. You know, they've been in the in the spotlight, in the limelight for quite a while now, and you know, everyone's been really excited to hear this tape.
Yeah, no, they're definitely doing their thing. They have such like a similar style that I think, you know, in all the combination like is just insane, and I think that like they can both work on the same type of like song and remedy or like melody, I mean, which really like works for them, I think, like because with a lot of collaborations, like artists are on two different styles and like the song doesn't really turn out like super smooth, but with these guys, like they were switching off bars and stuff, like you couldn't even really like notice who was rapping sometimes.
Yeah, and they're definitely both heavily influenced and inspired by Young Thug, obviously co-signed them both, and he's really kind of like paved the way for them, and you could tell in their music, but also you could tell that they have a future sound that's gonna be prominent for a while.
Definitely. Besides Drip Harder and Mud Boy, this week we had Shy Glizzy, who dropped his new album. It was very insane. Still gotta finish listening to it, but so far so good. He's definitely a favorite of mine throughout the years. I think he really like knows what he's doing, and I think his time is coming.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, his last two projects I still listen to this day. You know, they're just like that tape there when I don't know what to listen to, I just go to that. But yeah, I'm excited to have another one.
True that.
You know what I mean?
And besides them, Zillakami and Sos Milla also dropped their debut tape, City Morgue Volume 1, which is going to be very hardcore, I already know. I'm excited to listen to that later today and see what the hell's going on with them.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about that. Always open to hearing like new sounds and new perspectives in rap and hip hop, but I feel like you can hardly even call it that.
Yeah, they're like death metal. I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah, but I'm excited to hear it. I've been hearing about these guys for a while, so.
True that. And moving on, I suppose we have to talk about Yhandi and the failure that was, or at least for now, we're calling it a failure. And I think that Kanye is really he's really testing everyone's limits with how much we can support him, I think, and he's kind of almost disrespecting his fans by playing with everyone so much, I think. And I know that he has a purpose for doing everything he's doing, but I think his way of communicating it all is very all over the place, and I don't think a lot of people are able to wrap their mind around whatever he's trying to do.
Yeah.
I think it's become really frustrating to the majority of music listeners.
Yeah.
And just fans of Kanye.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of fans nowadays expect someone to be super reliable, and I feel like at this point we could just straight up say, you know what I mean, he's not going to be the most reliable artist ever again.
Completely.
But on another note, I do see a lot of growth, and even though a lot of people don't see it this way, I do see a lot of growth and independent thought in what he's doing, and I feel like he thinks like 50 years from now or 100 years from now. I don't think he thinks in the present day, which is why a lot of fans, like, and their feelings and stuff doesn't really matter to him. And that's okay, you know, but what I do care about is that, like, as long as he feels like he's healthy and sane and, you know, has the help that he needs, then that's cool. We shouldn't really, like, criticize, like, you know, every little bit of his life.
Completely, yeah. He's doing his thing, he's speaking his mind. I think overall it's somewhat productive to society because it's getting people to just open their mouths and, you know, speak their true opinions for things and just become more, you know, engaged in the political conversation. And I think that he's really kind of dragging a lot of just millennials and, like, younger people in general into politics by doing what he's doing, which I think overall is like a solid move for just kind of a society.
Yeah.
I think we need to be more, like, interactive with this stuff, and I think he's kind of, like, making people do it whether they want to or not.
Right. If you feel some type of way about what Kanye's doing or Kanye going to the White House and you're of voting age, that should tell you something. You know what I mean? Like, you should go out and vote if that's really how you want to look at things.
Completely.
Yeah.
And moving on to the latest art news that's been going on. Banksy shredded his, or her, I suppose, $1.4 million painting that was auctioned off over the weekend, and of course it's doubled in value somehow. And it's pretty interesting. I gotta say, I have not seen that before, and I think that it was pretty cool. I can't lie, I think that was a pretty gnarly move all around. Can definitely respect it.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect for Banksy, obviously, just because most of the things that we see from Banksy are, like, extremely political and extremely, you know, like, in your face to who it may be. But it's really interesting. As an artist, I could see this is just legendary. It's a legendary moment, and there's not a lot of that left in art. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And a little closer to home, we have the pop-up at the Gagosian of Takashi Murakami and Virgil Abloh for their new exhibit, which I believe is called America 2. It consists of a lot of three-dimensional pieces, a lot of the classic, like, arrow intersection off-white logos mixed with some Murakami flowers, as always. We got some paintings. I saw an American flag, a digital fan that creates, like, a pretty much a digitalized, like, moving picture, which I think was pretty awesome. And overall, like, the combination of them has just, like, skyrocketed over the past year or two. Like, I haven't seen anyone really push a combination like this in quite some time, and the fact that they're really just doing it on their own without, you know, like a label or anything like that to kind of just, like, set them up and get them working together. Like, the fact that it was completely independent, I think is, you know, it definitely says something about what they think of modern art and, you know, what the consumers are interested in.
Yeah, and of course, like, you know, both of them in the hype world are just, like, and as far as art, they're, you know, they're at the top tier. But hype aside, like, it's not easy for artists to collaborate. If it were, you'd see a lot more collaborations between artists, and
definitely,
this is something that I feel like just went so well together, despite their different styles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very contrasting imagery between them, but at the same time, it's like two puzzle pieces. They just, like, mold together so perfectly. It's really interesting to see, because I feel like a lot of people never would have suspected this if, you know, it had never been announced that, like, this whole, you know, collaboration had never been a thing. I don't think anyone really would have seen it coming at all, but they've been able to really well just bridge the past and the present, I would say, or the past and the future, kind of.
Yeah, I kind of, like, what I hope is that they continue to collab, like, in some way or another forever. You know, Virgil Abloh being Kanye's creative director, as a young kid, like, that really put me onto high-end art, like, in general. Like, hadn't really known much about art until, you know, Murakami's cover for
Yeah,
Kanye
yeah.
and the George
classic.
Kondo cover for Kanye. So it's something that has always been influential in the culture, and it's cool to see it continue.
Definitely. And overall, I think that's about it for this week. We will get back to you next week with some new updates.
Yep.
All right, peace out.